Kyle Chalmers is the fastest swimmer in the world this year in the 100 freestyle, and he just went a new personal best in the 50 free. At the 2025 Bergen Swim Festival in Norway, Chalmers first turned heads in the prelims of the 100 free, where he posted a respectable 48.04. Being close to breaking 48 seconds is a good sign for any in-season meet, but in the prelims, well, that's even more interesting. For the final of the event, Kyle Chalmers was there to show that he could go even faster. He started things off with a blazing 22.76 on the way out. He then backed that up with the fastest closing split of the field to storm home in a monstrous 47.27. That is easily the fastest time in the world this year. In fact, Chalmers is only the second swimmer to go sub 48 this season. This is also a very fast swim for Chalmers just in general. He's only been faster than 47.27 3 times in his entire career, at Worlds in 2019, at the Tokyo Olympics, and at Worlds in 2023. That's right, the only other times that Chalmers has been faster than this swim has either been at a Worlds or an Olympics, which means that this is by far his fastest ever in-season swim. It's also notably faster than the 47.48 he went at the Paris Olympics to win silver in the event. Later on in the meet, Chalmers had his only other event, the 50 freestyle. Chalmers hasn't ever really been a serious threat in this event before. He's contested it here and there, recently placing 4th at the Australian Olympic trials last year with a time of 22.04. In fact, he's only ever broken 22 seconds once, also in 2024 at the Australian Open with a time of 21.98. Well, he's only ever broken 22 seconds once until now, because in the final of the 50 free, Chalmers ripped a new personal best of 21.78, slicing exactly 0.2 off of his previous best time. That is also a time fast enough to make Chalmers the 4th fastest swimmer in the world this year, right behind the reigning Olympic gold and silver medalists Cam McAvoy and Ben Proud. Pretty solid for someone that, as I said, isn't really a factor in this race, at least not on the same level as his 100 free. It looks like Chalmers has been doing some more speed work, and I don't think it's to try and start swimming the 50 free. I think it's to work on his opening speed in the 100 free. Let's take a look at the splits from this 47.27 and compare them to the splits from his best time of 47.08. He's actually gone that time twice, so we'll look at both. The key thing here is that first 50. Chalmers was out in a 22.76, which is right in line with the opening splits of his best times, faster than 2019 but slower than 2021. Of course, he's then a bit slower on the second 50, but this is where we then remind ourselves that this is still an in-season swim, and it can be normal for that back half to be the last thing to come around. Chalmers has spent most of his career as a massive back half swimmer. When he first won Olympic gold in this event at the 2016 Rio Olympics, he turned at the 50 in 7th. In both 2019 and 2021, he was out in 3rd. During these years, him and Dressel were quite a ways ahead of the rest of the field in terms of speed, so instead of pulling him out of a huge deficit against the rest of the field, it more or less pushed him past everyone else. In 2023, he was out in a tie for 7th, which in a field of 8 means he was tied for last, and in 2024, he was out in 8th. So laying low and making his move on the second 50 is something that Chalmers is very used to doing by now, but it looks like there's the potential for that to maybe change. If I had to guess, a big reason for that change is what happened in the final of the 100 freestyle at the Paris Olympics. If you're watching this, then you probably know that in Paris, Penchela destroyed his own world record with a blazing 46.40 in this event, winning Olympic gold by over a second and taking almost half a second off of his own world record. When Pan swam this race in Paris, he had both an insane opening of 22.28 to the feet going out, and then backed that up with the fastest second 50 of the entire field as well. Pan has a background as a distance swimmer, which means he definitely has the closing speed to follow up a very quick opening like that. And at a certain level of speed, you can't just have a strong back half, you need to have a strong opening too, otherwise you leave yourself in way too big of a hole to ever climb back out of. If I had to guess, Chalmers has realized this and is working on that front end speed to be closer to the field at the turn, so that way he doesn't have to fight through literally everyone in order to get a podium position at the end. Now, am I saying that if Chalmers just went out a bit faster in Paris, he could have caught Pan at the end? No, probably not. 46.40 is just insane, and at a certain point, there's not much that even the world's most perfect race plan can do for you. But during future races in the 100 freestyle, there's no guarantee that Pan goes another 46.4 or faster, and if he's in the 46 high range, which by the way, still incredibly fast, then Chalmers could give himself the opportunity to try and chase him down. Even ignoring the world record holder, this event is getting so fast and so deep right now that this is a solid potential strategy change for Chalmers even when it comes to chasing the minor medals. Remember, in Paris, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th were all each 1/100th away from one another. Another reason why I think opening speed is going to become that much more important this event is a side effect of this event getting faster: the waves. With the increasing depth in these races, the margins are getting closer and closer, meaning that these big swimmers are spending way more time right next to each other fighting through the wake that everyone is creating. These waves make it even harder to rely on a strong back half. Look at where Chalmers is after the turn in Paris. He's right there in the wash created by everyone else, meaning he needs to fight through that for his back half. Compare that to Pan. Obviously, that insane opening speed just helps him be generally fast on the way out, but it also gets him super clean water. Compare that to all the swimmers that are all bunched up behind him, he's free and clear. Part of me also wonders if this issue is amplified by the depth issues of the Paris pool as well. If I were to make a prediction, I would say that opening speed is going to become much more important in the 100 freestyle in particular. This field is getting so fast that you really can't get away with just not having it. Which is why I'm really liking these swims out of Chalmers. Going a personal best in the 50 free at an in-season meet is a really good sign for your raw speed. And of course, going the 4th fastest 100 free of his entire career is just a good sign for where he's at right now, period. No post-Olympic hangover here. Chalmers has had a very strong career in the 100 freestyle. He's one of the fastest performers ever. At the last 3 Olympics, he's either been 1st or 2nd, and he has both a world's title and a world silver. The man has done a lot in the 100 freestyle, which is why I want to see him check one more thing off the list: a 46-second swim. He's been really close twice now with his dual 47.08s, and from what we're seeing right now, I think he certainly has the potential to go another best time, and to break that barrier, it's not like he'd need to drop a lot. We'll get to see Kyle Chalmers back in action soon enough. Less than a week from now, he'll be swimming again at the Swim Open Stockholm, so we'll get a chance to see just how consistent he's going to be with his in-season speed. What did you think about these swims out of Kyle Chalmers? Am I right, and is he going to be trying to go out even faster, or at Worlds is he going to be flipping in 7th or 8th again? Let me know down below.